I'm so glad I looked at that. Okay, we weren't recording. So, anyone want to share anything with the Bob webinar last night? And if not, we'll get started. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to thank everyone again for joining us tonight. I know that this was, something that you guys have been committing to for all week for all of these team calls and stuff. So I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so we'll get started. I will just tell you, though, that Bob Heilig's style and his mission absolutely aligns like perfectly with Plexus. If you've heard him talk about the Legacy Leadership Academy last night, the mission to create like legacy leaders that wish to have a profitable network marketing business that gives us complete freedom, but the mission is so that we can give back to the world in an even bigger way. And that just aligns with me and I think with Plexus in so many ways. So I think it's a really great fit if it's something that you guys are considering, at least for that dollar 30-day trial. Bob says that if you've already kind of woken up to the truth that the mission in this profession is about way more than just making money, then this is where you want to be in this Legacy Academy. So I feel like it's the very best place that I want to be. I've already learned so much from it. I really do have a mission to like rise far above the traditional networking marketer. And I really want to focus on becoming a leader destined to really make a major impact on the world around me and leave like a legacy. And so I want to stop right there. And I just want to say that this is what we mean when we tell you guys to like dream bigger than you ever have before. This business it's about thinking far beyond just what's in it for you. And instead it's about thinking outward, about what kind of impact you can have on the entire world around you. If you guys have seen my dream boards, my current one now, there's a big section about like giving back. And honestly, that's not even on like the huge scale that I really expect it to be years from now. But Bob and this Legacy Leadership Academy, it encourages us to really take this journey from success to significance and accept that freedom that the Plexus business is going to give us is not just the destination, but instead it's the ability to make a bigger impact on the world. And freedom is what leads us to the ultimate destination of legacy, which is leaving your mark on the world and knowing that your life mattered. So that's personally what I want to create. And I really, really hope that you guys are all on board with this too. This can be so much bigger than just us. Celeste Gwynn actually even said at one point in some video that I watched that, she didn't realize the impact that she could make with her Plexus business when she first joined. And now she's doing mission trips all over the world of really like supporting people less fortunate. Sorry. If someone wants to jump on the team chat real quick, I think people are looking for the Zoom call. If you guys could share just the Zoom number at the top so they can join, please. So this can be just so much bigger than us. And I just really hope that you guys all just really look at 2018 as an opportunity to make a really big impact on the people around you, and not so much just look inward at what this Plexus business can do to bless you and your family, which it will, but that's just kind of a stepping stone to the bigger picture. So with that mission, he teaches us really incredible techniques in this group, and it sets us like really far apart from the normal network marketing like tactics. Often those are really cringeworthy, if you guys will agree. And I already really feel firmly that Plexus is kind of set apart from the norm of the really salesy, shicey kind of way that people work. So I'm proud of that already, but Bob really aligns with that message. So I really hope that you guys get a lot of it. A lot out of it. I encourage you to check out that Leadership Academy. If you have not registered for it yet, it's $1 for the next 30 days, or actually it hasn't started yet. I'm not sure the date that it starts, if any of you guys know. But I will tell you that it's absolutely worth the $57 a month that I'm paying for it right now. So it's month to month. You can continue on. And at least for the time being, while we're still learning so much, and not to mention that he's totally up to speed on all like current and constantly evolving changes within social media. So just that advice alone is really, really invaluable to us. And don't forget, it's a tax write-off. Everything you spend related to Plexus is a write-off. Even you guys driving to my house on Super Saturday, clock those miles. It's a tax write-off, okay? Every single thing that you spend regarding your business, save the receipts for. Okay. So getting into this new system for success, it's the 2-7-30 training method. And if you've probably already figured out, 2 is for the first 48 hours of onboarding and signing up your new ambassador. 7 is the first 7 days, and 30 is the first 30 days. So I'll add that we've also adopted this from Bob in the Legacy Academy. So it's just yet another piece of really invaluable training that he's shared. But it's brilliant, and it's something that I think that we have all been craving for a long time. Like, for example, my first 2 years that I joined, I'll really say that there wasn't a clear-cut, easy training and onboarding process for our newbies. And I'm sure a lot of you people who have been with me for a while, you'll agree. Like, we had the basics of getting a newbie on a 3-way chat or a call, sending them a welcome letter. Those were all there. But after that, I feel like most of us just kind of grabbed random pieces of information from like various YouTube channels and documents, and we tagged our newbies in like certain posts to help them get started. But I'll also be willing to bet that that resulted in some chaos felt within us. I know I did. And then unfortunately, the biggest part is it probably left that newbie feeling really overwhelmed. So that's the biggest mistake that we can do in the beginning, is to overwhelm our new ambassadors. They need to know that there's a simple and effective system that they can follow if they just do, you know, what we kind of give them, the system set out check by check, and they begin to see results quickly. So thankfully, we're going into this new year with a completely refreshed and revamped process. It's going to be unified across the board, T-mail and down. Everyone is using it. We've kind of, you know, just put our own little spin on it for each team, but ultimately it is a unified, simple checklist for you and your new ambassador to follow. It's going to help ensure that they get set on the right track so that they see success in their health and or business journey. And then it will help you to adopt the confident leadership role for your growing team. And then ultimately, it's going to give you more time to focus on those really important IPAs to keep your own business growing. Okay, so sound good so far? Good. Okay. One of the biggest pieces of advice that he gives in this training is to treat every single new person that you enroll like they're going to be your next superstar, but you want to work with them like they're going to quit tomorrow. So you always have to have that sense of urgency. Your training process should have high energy, excitement, momentum. We want to operate with extreme urgency, like I mentioned. So we're not just out, this is important too, and this was kind of like a light bulb moment for me too, is we're not just here to train people, we're here to develop them. And what I mean by that is we're not just sending someone a checklist, telling them to do it, and kind of sending them to the wolves, right? Or no longer, at least, we're not doing that. We're working closely with them to actually show them how to do it. And this is the action that they will in turn learn. And then that's going to duplicate down, and it's going to build them a successful empire. And then all the way, you know, it's going to really benefit everyone by having just this clearly defined system in place. It's going to give the new people confidence that they can be successful if they just follow this system. Good? Are we on board? I'm going to do questions and answers. So I'm going to try to just get through this as fast as possible. But you know what? Anyone who has a question, if I say something and it pops a question immediately, you can definitely interrupt me. So just unmute yourself. But otherwise, we'll do Q&A at the end if you have any written down or something. But as we go along with this, stop me if you have a question, okay? All right. I've got some documents here that I have to open up as we go. All right. So you signed a new ambassador. Yay. Okay. Now grab your sponsor checklist and let's follow along with this. So let me open this up here, which means I just have to put this Zoom in the corner here. Sponsor checklist. Okay. There we go. Sorry, one more second. Okay. So obviously you still want to email them the welcome letter and add them to the team page like we always have. It doesn't hurt to tell them ahead of time, that you're going to be adding them to the team page just so they're aware of what it's about. But I always make it very non-threatening. Like, this is an excellent resource that you want to be connected into this community, this support community to help your journey, regardless of whether they want the business or the just the products. They want to be plugged into our team page, because think about how many times like we do just random contests for people who have their 100 PV in, right? They could benefit with that. Why wouldn't they? Or all the product information that we share, or the days that we do testimony Tuesdays, things like that. They want to be plugged into. Plus, we have all those files in the back or in the file tab of the team page that could really benefit them too. So you want to do those two things as we've always been doing. But you also now want to send them the Getting Started checklist. And there's 3 files: the sponsor checklist, the game plan meeting worksheet, and the Getting Started checklist. Everyone should be getting the Getting Started checklist, regardless of what they want, business or products only. You can send it in the welcome email. However, there's already some attachments in the welcome email, so I'd hate for it to get lost. I may send it via Facebook inbox and just have a quick little conversation and explain what it is. It's totally your preference, but if you feel like you could add it into the welcome letter and they would read it all, they're that person that'll thoroughly go through it all, then go for it. Then the first thing that you want to do is qualify them to see how serious and committed they are to the business. It's so often that we are just prejudging people that they're here and reached out just for the products and that they have no interest in the business whatsoever. But we're totally assuming that. And you heard Bob talk about that last night. You're creating all these stories in your mind that are false, that you don't even really know the true answer to. So it's just important that we qualify them and you let them know there's no right or wrong answer. So I've made a short 5-minute video. It's Welcome to the Family. If you guys have watched it yet, it's in here, right here in the 1, 2, 3, 4th box down. So you can send it to them there, or it's on my YouTube channel if anyone follows me. There's not a whole lot going on. It's not a big channel to be following, but I did put it in there. So you can send them that and ask them to watch it immediately and get back to you with their response. Tell them it's a 5-minute video, really quick. And it's not just about the business. It welcomes them. It talks about consistency and, kind of some resources of where they can find things. And then at the end, it asks them about their interest in the business, which path they're ready and willing to take. If you're comfortable though, with having that conversation yourself, I made the video for anyone who may be scared to ask that question. But if you are comfortable with talking to them flat out in your own conversation, your own style, and asking them path 1 or path 2, what they prefer, go for it, you guys. I just made that video as a helpful tool for you. So, path 1 is the launch. If you guys have watched the video yet, if you haven't, please go watch it as soon as you can. It really explains this in detail, so I won't go into it right now. But path 1 is launch. They are ready to hit the ground running. They're ready to make some serious money, and they're ready to learn. Path 2 is the slow and steady. They're ready to start their products. They're just not sure about the business yet, or maybe not at all ever. But important to know there's no right or wrong answer. And so you could even say that when you follow up with them right away. So either you're having the conversation with them and they answer you right away, or they watch the video and get back to you, or you have to follow up with them, because that's so important that you don't just leave them hanging. You need to know the answer to this question so that you know how to set them up for success. So regardless of their answer, whatever path they choose, 1 or 2, you want to send them that Getting Started checklist. So you could send the welcome email and then send the video separately and get their answer and then send them the Getting Started checklist. Or, you could decide which works best for you of when and where, but this is all within the first 48 hours of them joining, okay? An important tip though, it's very important that they understand that the amount of time that they can commit to this business has absolutely no bearing on which path they choose. It's really about how they want to treat the time that they do have. So I say that in the video also. Sorry, this light's really bright. Okay. I say that in the video also. We can help you if you just have 10 minutes or 1 hour to work your business a day. We can help get you help you seeing results within the time that you have available. So don't let them, I say that because I don't want that to be something that kind of stops them in their tracks and says, I don't have time for this. Because when you really drill down, people find time for things that are important to them and they make a priority, right? So when we can show them what this can do for them, they would find a way to make it a priority, at least for, 30 minutes a day, whatever. But even, like I said, 10 minutes a day, we can make it work. It's all about IPAs, right? So if they say path 1, you focus on working with them personally. It's basically like the starting gun just went off and it's time to get to work. If they say path 2, then slow and steady, you still want to send all of the above that we mentioned. However, they don't have to complete everything in the checklist, the getting started checklist. They just want some of the basic information, which we'll go over in a minute. And I would probably not offer the game plan meeting because they're not really interested yet. However, it doesn't hurt to throw them in a group chat with you and the sponsor and just introduce them as an additional resource. This is an additional friend that could, be a good resource for you or support for you on your health journey. I just wanted you guys to meet. Literally that easy. Okay. I'm trying to see here if I want to stop and go over the, give me 1 second here. I'm going to stop right there so that we can go to the getting started checklist real quick. And if you have someone with path 2, then you can kind of see which important pieces that they need still. They still need that whole top box of contact information. They need to know what their website is, their username and password. Have them write this down, print it out, write it down, and save it somewhere so that they know how to log in the future, or they know how to reach customer service in the future. The first couple to-do items are still important. You want to show them how to log in, go through their virtual office. You want to, you can skip the game plan meeting, but you want the third box, how to start taking your products and what to expect. Now that is the welcome letter as well, because chances are people don't always read their emails. Then going down, there was something else. Oh no, maybe that's it. At the bottom, the boxes at the bottom is your support team. So it's you plus your upline. You could give them their, any of our information so that they can stay connected if they need any of us. Okay, so that is pretty cut and dry. I hope that is helpful. The getting started checklist is, easy to understand for all of you guys. Back to the sponsor checklist, and I hope I'm doing well on time here. I think I am. Okay, so at the point where someone says they want to choose path 1, now within those first 48 hours, you want to set a game plan meeting. And you want to just think of this meeting as your new person's like orientation to the business. It's going to help them feel better about the process, and it's going to give them all the skills-based training that they need to get onto a successful start. Makes sense, right? That's what we want to do. We want to set them up and get them into action and seeing results as soon as possible. The sooner that you can get them to seeing a result, the better and the more engaged that they're going to stay. So if we open up the game plan meeting worksheet, I'm going to go through a couple of things, and I might skip over a couple of the obvious. So this game plan should be no more than an hour. If you can get face-to-face with them, that's awesome. But if not, then Zoom does a free app. I'm sorry, the Zoom app is free for, I think you get maybe 40 minutes for free each call. Or you have to pay for it like I do, and then you get like an hour, you get unlimited time, I think. So you guys could all set up a Zoom app for yourself, or actually the ones that you probably have already, the accounts that you have already are capable of just creating a call. So you could do that or face-to-face. And you just want to give them enough information, like I said, to get them into action, to seeing results. So that's what this worksheet is going to do. So as you're going through your sponsor checklist, this is what you want to get on the phone call and do with them. Help them set these goals. You want to make sure, oh, hang on. I'm going to go through, give me 1 second here. Okay. You want to help them set these financial goals, these health goals. You want to explain what silver is. Set the stage for action steps of what they can do for the first 7 days on Facebook, on social media. Remember, this is all about creating curiosity. So it's not about coming out necessarily and just blasting people with plexus, plexus, plexus. And I think we've all done a really good job at learning how to effectively market ourselves, or I should say brand ourselves. I know we hate the word market because it's not about selling, but branding ourselves on Facebook. So help them to understand that method and that idea. You want to have them, and in the getting started checklist, it talks about them making their Franks list of 100 people. So have them have their Franks list already ready before this game plan meeting. And then when you talk to them, now you can talk to them about getting their 10 best and 10 easiest people out of that list of 100. So they're going to go through and help to identify their top 10 business builders out of that Franks list that they think would be really great with the business and that would be fun to run with them. And then they're going to go to their top kind of easiest prospects for the products. And what we mean by that, of course, is like your best friend, your sister, your mom, people who are you have influence over and who trust you, and you could call and be like, hey, listen, you need to try this, and we're going to do this together. So just have them work off of their Franks list to get to that point. You know what? Give me 1 second. Sorry, I got to open up something else here. All right. Identify third-party tools. Oh, I closed it. Sorry, you guys. Having them identify third-party tools. You want to send, whenever someone's interested, you always want to take it, share your own story. But if they don't have one yet, then they can, they have a lot of third-party tools that they can use to send to people. So go through the options for them. Product information, the business opportunity. These are clickable links here too that you see. Business inspiration with the Diamond documentaries. Testimonies. Lots of ways to get testimonies. The Positively Pink page is awesome, obviously. And sorry, I'm talking and typing something at the same time to open something up. And then the third-party validation. You guys, that is really a super efficient and effective way to help people understand what Plexus is about, and that it's helping people on such a large scope. Oh, this might take too long for me to log into, so I don't know if I want to. All right. So, and then again, I just want to hit, if you guys see, these are the core basics, and look how simple this checklist is for you to follow, right? I hope you guys all agree. And I hope that I actually said a little prayer before I started, because I'm not a teacher. So bear with me. I really hope that this is not overwhelming you, but instead actually making this process much, much simpler for you. So step 4 is just explaining the customer versus ambassador options. So simple. It's laid out right there. It's so easy just to follow along with that and explain to them what the differences are. All right, give me 1 second because I had something that I wanted to read to you. Identifying your why. We talk about this a lot, and I'm going to try to find it here. I wrote something down about it, but yeah, I might not find it, you guys, sorry. But identifying your why, you want to have them try to drill down as deeply as possible. And, I will tell you, like, my why has absolutely evolved over over the years, really, with Plexus. You know, it started off very small. And then once I started to realize the possibilities, you know, it grew more and more. And once my belief in the company and the business and, you know, myself, and what the possibilities were, that's when I really, you know, my wife started to develop even stronger. So, you know, don't necessarily expect them to have a very deeply rooted why to begin with, but encourage them that it is something that that will develop over time. People are unfortunately taught not to dream, or to have hope, and unfortunately, that's our job, is to really teach them how to be able to do that again. You know, little kids, we really had big, huge dreams, and then unfortunately, we've been told no so much in our lives that kind of crushes that that part in our minds where we think that anything is really possible. You know, so. A couple questions, I pulled it up actually, this is what I wanted to read to you. A couple questions of what you could ask to just kind of challenge them to really start thinking bigger and imagining the possibilities of what Plexus and this business could provide. Ask them, why did you say yes to building this business? What's missing in your life right now that you would like more of? Time, money, security, purpose. I know so many people just kind of feel stuck and, you know, purpose and not purposeful in their life. So, you know, this is something that really could change things for them. Asking them how much money they would need to make, which is part of the beginning at the top of those financial goals. Something to really get them excited about doing this. And I've told you before, like, we have people who are like, well, I'd really like to, you know, retire my husband. And that's great. But you know what? That's not something fulfilling personally that they could really find to fuel their fire every single day. But asking them, like, what would that money do for you? How would that make you feel? It's all about emotions. You have to tie the emotions to their why. Okay. Sorry, give me a second here. All right, we talked about the contact list, how to make that. And then next is setting their goals for the next 7 days and learning how to work their business daily. So you guys, I think, are all pretty comfortable with how to create IPAs or how to do IPAs, but you want to teach that to them. So just make sure at the end of this meeting that they commit to you that they're going to complete a certain amount of, like, mutually agreed upon activities based upon what you guys agree on. So together you're going to come up with your 7-day goals for them. And your job is really to hold them accountable for completing these assignments. Now, don't feel bad about that. They gave you permission by telling you that they choose path 1. They are craving this direction, I promise you. So some examples of some 7-day goals that you can set with them is completing their list of 100 and getting the 10-10, 10 best, 10 easiest. Create a Facebook Live curiosity post. Now, Bob talks about Facebook Lives like crazy. You guys know this. Not even mentioning Plexus in that Facebook Live post, just talking to them about maybe opening up and telling people, like, the condition that their health is in right now and why they made a decision to change it and what they're looking forward to, and keeping it very short and sweet. Getting people to start, like, really starting to be interested and create that curiosity. Another example of a goal to set with them is attending their first live event. So whether it's, you know, our weekly team calls on Mondays, if we've got like a happy hour coming up, if there's anything live like Super Saturday, definitely want to get people involved in that. Any of those kind of events. Another one is completing a certain amount of reach outs or contacts within the 7 days, and then you guys catch up at that 7 days to see how it went. Or just begin taking their products, building their own personal testimony. Another one is getting a certain amount of samples in people's hands. Now, I really do use samples sparingly, and so I always teach that too. I don't think people value free things. And unfortunately, I've learned the hard way when I've given out, you know, contests of 3 or 7 day trials that they get thrown into a junk drawer and they're not used, and it just breaks my heart. So I would always teach to use the sample sparingly for people who are really, really adamant or like nervous about what the Slim's going to taste like. But personally, I never tasted it before I started. I just trusted Christy and I gave it a try. And the majority of you guys never tried it either. I would bet, I'd be willing to bet. So another goal could be setting up a certain amount of 3-way calls. So whatever goals that you want to get, you want to give them something that's going to give them results quickly. So give me one more second here. Let me close this. I just wanted to go over that list for you guys. I hope I got you and I haven't lost anyone yet. Okay, this is going to be quicker here going through all this now. So I think that game plan meeting worksheet's pretty clear cut. Sorry, clear cut and really helps to just drill down to the basics. If you guys notice here, we didn't mention the comp plan at all. I really encourage people. This is a earn as you learn business. The comp plan's amazing. We get paid 11 different ways. It's so detailed that it takes some time to get used to. And my recommendation is to start getting results and getting paid. And when you get a big fat check, you're going to be like, where the heck did this money come from? And then we'll figure it out for you and I'll help you break it down and you'll learn as you earn. Earn as you learn. Same thing. So just really like focus on these core 6 steps here, really, of what it takes to launch your new ambassadors off to success. Make sure at the end of the meeting that they agree to this and that you want to still keep in touch with them every single day, somehow. Text, Facebook inbox, calls, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be big, long, drawn-out phone calls, but you want to stay in contact with them to make sure that you're helping them be accountable to the goals that they have set. Okay, let me just see where we're at here now. So that's your first 7 days. Give me one second. I'm going to go back to the sponsor checklist here. All right, 7 days. We're maintaining communication, holding them accountable. The I quit line, I think I have something here about that. But what it is excuse me, hang on. The I quit line is something you have to give them, something that keeps them committed and hang on. It's the point in their business where it's harder for them to quit than it is to stay. So you can accomplish this by getting them started, you get them connected, and you get them that result. The most important tip that Bob shares is that the most important thing that can happen in the first week is just to get them that result. On average, he says that you have 7 to 10 days to show someone a result before they check out and quit and think that it's too hard or it's not for them. So really getting them, and it doesn't have to be a big result, but some kind of result. Ideally, a customer would be great. A new ambassador for them would be even greater. So getting them towards silver is a really great first, goal to work on. Excuse me. Okay, 7 days, you can also coach them through any detox symptoms, and then we're going to set some 30-day goals. So for the 30-day goals, you want to make sure that they understand the power of creating their own 30-day success story that they can share with other people. It's incredibly powerful, as we all know, to share a personal testimony about the benefits that you're seeing already from the products and the financial opportunity. Obviously, that's what is kind of the name of our game of how we share and create interest. So you want them to have a success story, ideally in both health and finances by then. But we all know, with detox, it might take a little time. But within 30 days, you would ideally, they're feeling some changes. So you want them to work on that success story and start sharing it. It's our job as the leader and the sponsor to really push and challenge them to do these steps. They're going to hesitate. They're going to have kind of outside factors that are opinionated and trying to change their minds of what they initially thought that first 48 hours when they were so super excited to join. as the team leader though, so it's just important that we're just loving on people every step of this process. We have to kind of coach them on what to explain or what to expect, and to set those expectations up front. So don't listen to what people say. We have to watch what they do. You know, I think if people would have told me from the beginning, like, this is what you can expect, there's going to be negativity from people who just don't get it. There's going to be speed bumps from naysayers who don't understand, and some people in some cases don't even want to see you succeed. And unfortunately, that's just the nature of being a business owner in general, but also in network marketing. I feel like if we set those expectations for them up front, so that they understand that this is something that could happen and likely will, there's going to be people who are going to say no. There's going to be people who, like I said, they just don't get it. So setting those expectations up front and really just getting them understanding what this whole scope of this business is about is really our job. So just keep in mind that, you know, you can do everything that we've explained here exactly right, but it's always up to that new person. They have to match your activity and your effort. You're going to have some people that might say all the right things. They're going to want to do all this stuff, but then their actions never match it. And you're going to have some people that get off to a really great start and then they fizzle out and they fall off the face of the earth. And it's all just really, really part of this process. So just focus on doing what you can do with the people that you have, and really that this is going to be helping you work on your leadership skills overall. I hope that this helped to this point, and like I said, that no one is overwhelmed with anything. I'm going to stop here and see if there's any questions. This really was ideally, like I said from the beginning, this is something that is meant to make our life much, much simpler. There was not a system in place that everyone could really just follow very quickly, check off, boxes and keep moving. So I hope that you guys all really agree that this is an exciting new process to follow. It's a system for success. And that's why I keep saying that, because I really want to just follow that this is a system that people are going to be able to be plugged into and really find success quickly with it. Let me know. I have not been reading chats, so I hope that if there's any questions, you guys can just unmute yourself and ask. We can totally open it up now. That's the basics of it. 7:30. And the idea, and I love this from Bob too, is the idea is for your new people to become independent from you as quickly as possible. ASAP. You want them self-sustaining, fully functioning. Obviously, we are always here for each other. We are always the best support team. But ideally, you want them on their own smooth sailing ship ASAP. And so that's what I think this system is really going to do to help plug us all into getting everyone on the same page, getting everyone the important tools that they need from the very beginning to get them set for whatever success is in their plans, whether it's health or finances or both. So any questions? Hey,
Jess, I do have a question.
Yeah.
So hi, it's Jamie. So for the welcome letter, are we still sending the Rock the Detox, How to Take Your Products, Step to Success, and the YouTube video that comes with that as well, in addition to these as two that we're talking about?
Yeah. If you actually click, I've linked everything to the documents. So I really encourage you guys click on all of those so you can see what your ambassador's getting. But yes, that welcome letter is still the same. I don't use Rock the Detox. Mine's a little different, so you can use what you'd like. Mine is from Kim Wilson Pollock, and it's a little simpler, I think, about detox. So in the welcome letter here, that link will show you what my welcome letter looks like. But if you guys are using the Rock the Detox, that's fine. But I think otherwise what you're talking about is exactly the same. Yes. So that's why I was saying, like, welcome letter goes to everyone across the board and the getting started checklist. So I will probably send the welcome letter separate and maybe reach out to them, text or Facebook inbox, and ask them if they read it, and then send them this getting started checklist separately and say, you know, do you have 5 minutes that we could just hop on a call and I could go through these couple little things with you, even if they're just on path 2. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I would probably send the email first, and then I'll send a Facebook message with the video, the welcome video, and then follow up with them there and ask them what their response is for the welcome video, if they're path 1 or path 2. Regardless of their answer, I'll then send getting started checklist and say, if you've got a few minutes, I'd love to hop on a call and just give you like the basics of getting started checklist if you're path 2. Or if they're ready to launch, then you want to get them on a game plan meeting call anyway. And that's when you can go over the information that they can fill out as far as like their website and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I think that's the plan I'll use. Good question though. Thank you. I just know that, you know, like I said before, I feel like our training, you know, wasn't concrete enough where we were just kind of grabbing random information from random places. You know, I personally like a few people on YouTube, so I'd grab their videos and send them to them. Or I've seen this a lot, and it's something that we've all kind of adopted is we'll throw them into Team Boss and then we'll just start tagging all this stuff. And I can guarantee they're like, boom, explode. Like, where do I start? And not only that, but once you tag someone, tomorrow they can't find that tag. It's gone, you know, not that they can't find it, but in their notifications, you know, like for me at least, I got a bajillion notifications. So that tag is long gone. I can't find it anymore. So, and then there's always stuff coming up new in the team page. So even if they were tagged in something, that post is getting pushed down. So I'm not saying that tagging them in important stuff on the team page isn't helpful. It's very helpful, but in the beginning, it's overwhelming. So I would wait and follow this system first, get them started, get them on track, and then, you know, tag them as you see fit. Obviously, tag them when we've got team calls and important announcements like that. But I know that people in the past, we would use the search bar and we would type in new ambassador, and I tagged a whole bunch of great posts with with that tagline, so they would all pop up and people would just start tagging people. And I know that's super overwhelming for people. So any other questions, you guys? I'm just reading some comments here. Okay, so Carla, the video, so this whole thing, it was rolled out in one post, but I know that post is going to get lost in the shuffle of the team page. So if you go to the team page, either from your phone or from desktop, there's a files tab at the top. And from a phone, you kind of have to scroll left a little bit. You'll see like photos, and I'm not sure what all the options are, but you'll have to scroll a little bit to get to files. And then if you're on a desktop or a laptop, you'll just see files off to the left. And you want to click on that and you'll see a ton of files for you guys to use for anything. But the very top one is the System for Success 2730 game plan. And that has everything we just went over. So you'll always have that available. I've also added the welcome call. I think I'm going to change the pinned post up a little bit, but I really encourage you guys to use the pinned post on the team page. Again, from a phone, it's right underneath like the cover photo, it says pinned post. So just click that. Or from a computer, it's always the very first post that pops up. And it's got like 5 different graphics. One's like welcome, getting started, business tools, things like that. I might try to condense that down a little bit, but that right now is like key core information for anyone new to use. So I always recommend that you that's, if you're going to tag someone in something, then tag them in that pinned post and have them know that it's there for them to come back to when they need it. Anything else, you guys? The no questions scares me. I hope I gave you guys, I didn't lose you. I hope no one glossed over. No, I'm sure you guys didn't. I'm sure this helped, and I'm really, really excited about it. I think this is going to be something that's going to make our businesses run much smoother, and it's going to be really, really effective for us and for our new people. That's the thing. We want them really set up as soon as possible onto the right path. And I think I mentioned this, but so often we just kind of prejudge people into thinking that, they're, or we're too scared to ask them about the business. And I think that this 5-minute video that I made is a really easy way for you guys to get that question out there. If you're still kind of nervous about asking. So just make sure everyone watches that video. It gets back to you with the answer. If you've watched it or you haven't yet, I make it very non-threatening, and I think I effectively explained that there's no wrong answer with what they decide. And also important that if they choose path 2, that it's not a no forever about the business. It's just, they're just not yet ready yet. And maybe they never will be, and that's totally okay too, but they could be. And once you send them this getting started checklist, and they start to kind of take a look at that, and they see, maybe they'll click around in those links, they might start to get curious and see that this is a really fun and easy business to work. So, okay, you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry for our East Coast people who are up so late, but we did this later so that our West Coast people could be involved too after work. So I really, really am excited for all of you guys, all of your businesses this year. I think it's going to really take off. I also want to just add, it's January, January 4th. Take everything with a grain of salt. If you guys expected that January 1st was just going to literally explode, and you're feeling a little like, oh, people aren't ready yet, I just want to tell you guys that that's normal. I'm running into that as well. Some people spend a whole lot of money on Christmas, and they're just not recouped from that yet. And then also, I feel like sometimes people, for January 1st, for resolutioners, they have these unrealistic goals, and they probably try some things that aren't going to work or aren't going to stick. And like we said, 8% of people stick to their resolutions. So it might be a couple more weeks before they realize that we have something that could help them, kind of stick with the resolutions for the whole year long. So just stay patient. Continue planting all of those seeds, continue sharing everything that we've got rolling out here with incentives. Super Saturday is going to be something huge that you all are going to want to reach out to people about. So maybe even creating some excitement, some curiosity and excitement, telling some of maybe like your top 10 or top however many people you have on your list that there's something really big coming up this weekend. Would you like to be the first to know about it when I know? That's a good idea to kind of create some excitement and see if you've got some people who might jump off the fence if you've got a really great deal, which I think you will. All right, you guys. So excited to see all of you live on Super Saturday at my house. And then I really can't wait to see pictures of all of you guys off in different locations that are going. We've got people going to Orlando and Huntington Beach and Arizona, and I'm so excited for all of us. I wish we were all together, but one more thing, convention credits. So convention is the location of where convention is going to be announced at Super Saturday. It's been Vegas the last couple of years, but we're not sure where it's going to be this year, so we'll see. It's going to be a big announcement, a surprise. And they run credits for you to earn certain things for convention. Lots of fun things. Either like the first thing is usually earning back your registration fee, and then it goes into more and more prizes and black tie dinners and all kinds of VIP events and things like that you can earn. Those contest credits started January 1st. They're going to announce that on Super Saturday, but I can tell you right now, they roll back to January 1st. So they'll explain the details of how you can earn stuff and what, how to earn credits. But if anyone was around for Leaders Retreat, it's similar to that. You earn credits by building your business, building your team, building your customer base, having high PV, things like that. So that started January 1. So any of you guys who have been working hard already, then it's going to go towards your contest, your convention credit contests. So I'm really excited for Saturday. I can't wait to hear what all of you first timers think. I know it's going to be a first for a lot of you guys. The events are always so exciting. I just looked at Jamie. She's on her own over there in Grand Rapids, right? So, but thank you for joining. It's these events are always very high energy and really exciting. So you guys are going to be in for a treat. Thanks again for staying late with us, and I'll see you guys all soon.